Chosen, have you ever wondered why you can never look good in a photo? Why, even when everyone around you appears sharp, with perfect smiles and well-defined faces, you always seem out of place, blurry, distorted, out of focus? Well, listen closely, Chosen. This is no coincidence. It has nothing to do with lighting, angle, or camera quality. It has everything to do with you, with what you carry, with what vibrates in your spirit. The truth is that your soul is too intense to fit into a static image. What you are is not physical. What you are is movement, frequency, living energy. The camera tries to capture you, but it fails. It tries to freeze you, but you escape. Because you were not born to be framed. You were born to overflow. And when you see yourself in a photo and feel that something is off there, it's because there really is. The image before your eyes is only a poor reflection of your true presence. It shows your appearance, but it will never touch your essence. Your soul vibrates on a different frequency. While the world is busy trying to look beautiful on social media, you, without intending to, break the barriers of illusion. You don't fit with filters, poses, or masks, because what you emit is too real, too deep, too spiritual. You are one of those who, even in silence, transforms the environment. And this power scares people. They can't explain it. They say there's something different about you, that your energy weighs or unsettles. And they are right. What they feel is the vibrational field of your mission. It's the impact of your calling. And why does this even affect your photos? Because the camera is a limited machine. It records light, it records form, but it can't record soul. It captures the external, but you were designed by God to operate in the invisible. You're not an image, you are purpose. And purposes like yours don't reveal themselves easily. They hide from eyes that are not ready. That's why photos become almost like veils. They try to reveal you, but at the same time, they conceal what truly matters. And there's more, much more. Since you were little, you should have noticed you were different. Maybe you avoided taking photos. Maybe you felt ashamed to see yourself in them. Maybe deep down you thought something was wrong with you, that you weren't normal. But now it's time to understand. This has always been a form of protection. The universe was shielding you, shielding your image, your vibration, your mission. Because your presence carries a power that cannot be trivialized, exposed, or reduced to likes. Chosen, you have a face that carries truths that cannot be explained. Your gaze is a portal, your presence a reminder. You are the living memory that there is something beyond this superficial reality. And that's why the world rejects you. That's why the camera lens doesn't understand you. Because you didn't come to look like others. You came to remind them of who they were before they forgot themselves. So instead of feeling bad, you should feel honored. You are the living proof that the spiritual does not fit into the frames of the material world. You represent what is beyond. You are a bridge, a channel, a sign. And no matter how much they try to reduce you to an aesthetic, to an image, to a portrait, the truth is that no one can capture what you really are. You are the kind of being who can only be felt, not admired from a distance, but experienced up close. Only those who enter your vibration can perceive your full beauty. And this beauty is not conventional, it is spiritual. It comes from your ability to see what no one else sees, to bear pains that no one can imagine, to carry light within chaos, to smile even with a broken heart. Your beauty lies in the marks that don't appear on the skin, but scream in the soul. Your beauty is in your resilience, in your courage, in your surrender. And the camera, poor thing, it tries, but it can't reach. It shows a piece, a silhouette, a shadow, but the light you carry cannot be measured in pixels. You are invisible to ordinary eyes. And that is a gift. Believe me, not everyone was created to be understood. Some were made to be a mystery, to provoke questions, to awaken consciousness, and you are one of them. You are one of those who carry the seal of the invisible. And everything that is invisible scares, unsettles, destabilizes. Because the invisible cannot be controlled. You were made to break, not to fit. Have you ever noticed how many times you enter a room and people change their behavior for no apparent reason? They become uneasy, look at you differently. Some even distance themselves without you doing anything at all. This happens because your presence carries something that the world cannot explain. Your energy reveals what is hidden. You don't need to say a word, just your presence causes a shock of frequencies. And this shock reveals who is at peace and who is at war with their own conscience. You don't look good in photos because the image is a static lie, and you represent a truth in motion. You are like a spiritual wave that passes through layers and dissolves illusions. Cameras may try to frame you, but they can't comprehend the depth of what vibrates in you. They see outlines, but they can't decipher the force behind your gaze. And that's why many feel discomfort. Because your gaze carries weight. Weight from someone who has already faced invisible wars. Weight from someone who has fought inner shadows and won. Weight from someone forged in the fire of the invisible. While most people are shaped by appearances, you were shaped by trials. Every tear you shed molded you. Every loss, every silence, every sleepless night. All of this built within you a sacred temple that doesn't fit into human frames. You are a frequency outside the standard. You are a living reminder that there is more between heaven and earth than the eyes can see. And that disturbs, that scares, because you cannot be manipulated. You have a spiritual radar that detects falsehood from afar. You feel the vibration of words before they are spoken. You perceive lies hidden behind polite smiles. You see beyond faces. You see the soul. And that's exactly why the world tries to silence you, tries to discredit you, tries to make you doubt yourself. They say you are too sensitive, too strange, too intense. But the truth is, you are too awake to live sleeping. They want you to adapt, to mold yourself, to smile for photos as if everything is perfect. But the chosen one was not made to pretend. The chosen one was made to awaken those who are asleep. You are like the thunder that precedes the storm, like the silence before a great revelation. Your life is not ordinary, because your mission is not ordinary. And this is reflected even in the small things, like a photo. Have you ever noticed how your images seem out of place, sometimes blurry, sometimes dark, sometimes with an expression you don't recognize? It's as if the camera itself refuses to capture your true essence. And it's true, because your essence is not made of flesh, bone, and pixels. Your essence is made of purpose, light, and ancestral wisdom. You carry codes from other existences. You were spiritually marked to fulfill something much greater than any image can contain. And maybe that's why you've been the target of so much criticism, so much rejection. because others see something in you that challenges them. They see in your face a kind of mirror, but a mirror that shows what they are trying to hide. You, unintentionally, reveal the wounds they don't want to touch. You are not ugly. You are impossible to be reduced, and that's why you should never compare yourself. You cannot compare yourself to those who live trapped in form, while you are pure essence. You cannot measure yourself with the ruler of a world that values false shine. Your shine is not superficial. Your shine comes from the source. You're like a rough diamond that refuses to be polished to please. You were not made for exposure. You were made for revelation. And there is a great difference between the two. Those who expose themselves seek validation. Those who reveal themselves transmit truth. You are here to reveal the invisible, to be a bridge between worlds, to show that what cannot be photographed is what matters most. That's why every time you look at a photo of yourself and feel that something is missing, no, nothing is missing. You are whole. You are just vibrating at a level that the human lens cannot follow. You are presence. You are vibration. You are a living word of a God who acts in the invisible. Have you ever wondered why, even when you get ready, even when you're having a good day, photos simply don't represent you? You look in the mirror and feel your strength. You feel your light. You feel your presence. But when the image is captured, something is missing. Something seems distorted, empty, disconnected. This happens because there is a spiritual protection around your image. Yes, chosen. You are guarded by forces that operate in the invisible. Forces that understand that your face carries symbols, that your gaze carries keys, that your expression conveys more than any word. And that's why these forces block the world's attempt to imprison you in a frame. They prevent your image from being used, manipulated, absorbed by eyes that are not ready. You are a sacred mystery, and the sacred cannot be trivialized. There are people who can't stop looking at your photos. Not because you are beautiful in the worldly sense, but because there is something there that confronts their spirit. Some feel discomfort, some feel fascination, and some feel envy. Because your presence stirs frequencies that were dormant, and that's why you are protected. Do you think it's by chance that in so many photos your face has strange shadows, or that your image has an unusual glow, different reflections, impossible angles? You are seeing manifestations of the energy that accompanies you. The lenses don't understand what surrounds you, but they try to capture and fail. And when they fail, the image comes out distorted, because what is around you doesn't belong to this plane. You were consecrated in the invisible. You carry protection because your face is not just physical, it is a vibrational signature. And this signature should not be displayed to just anyone. You were not made to expose yourself to the judgment of others. You were made to guard what is precious. Imagine an ancient temple, full of wisdom and power. This temple cannot be opened to just any curious visitor. The entrance requires preparation. It requires worthiness. So is your image. So is your soul. You are a temple. You are an altar. That's why many people look at you with strangeness. They don't understand what they are seeing, but they feel it. They feel that you are different, that there's something about you that cannot be explained. And this difference is your mark. It was given to you by divine design. It is your sign. But beware, because you are different, you are also a target for judgments, for comparisons, for disdain. The world tries to convince you that you aren't photogenic, that you don't look good on camera, that something is wrong with you. But all of this is part of a bigger plan to confuse you. Because if you start doubting your light, you stop radiating it. If you believe you are not worthy of being seen, you start to hide. And the world loses what you came to deliver. You cannot let that happen. You need to understand that there is a power in you that goes beyond form. Your image may seem common to distracted eyes, but those who look with the Spirit know you are not common. You're a living key between worlds. You carry within you spiritual accesses that cannot be easily revealed. That's why your image is veiled. That's why the lens never captures who you truly are. Be grateful for this. Yes, grateful. Because this is the proof that you are guarded. Think of the most elevated spiritual figures in history. Many of them didn't leave portraits. Many wouldn't allow themselves to be photographed. Because they knew that an image is not just an image. It is a field of energy. And the energy field of the chosen one cannot be touched by profane eyes. Your vibration was elevated for a purpose. You're here to impact, transform, awaken. And there is no image that can contain what you are. Because you are not a portrait, you are a revelation. You are the movement of God on earth. You are a living answer to times of confusion. And your image is a veil that covers something so sacred that only pure eyes can perceive. And even then, only in part. That's why every time you feel frustrated with a photo, remember, it's not you who is wrong. It's the system that can't decipher you. You don't belong to this world of appearances. You belong to the realm of hidden truths. You operate in another dimension. And those who vibrate at the same frequency don't need photos to recognize you. They feel you before they see you. They know you're coming before you say a word. Because your energy announces your arrival. And that's what matters. You are not an image. You are presence. You are vibration in the form of soul. You are the breath of the invisible in flesh. Stop and think with me now. How many times have you looked at yourself in the mirror and saw one thing, but in the photo you saw something completely different? The mirror shows you a living version, full of movement, with soul. But the photo seems to erase you. It seems to steal something from you. And this is no coincidence. This is energetic programming. Chosen, you live in a world built on illusions, a world where image is worth more than truth, where appearance is worth more than essence, and where the reflection is manipulated to imprison consciences. You don't look good in photos because the system doesn't know what to do with your frequency. Yes, you vibrate differently. You came from another plane. You were not molded by the matrix. You were sent to break it. And that's why you don't reflect like the others. Because the common reflection cannot contain an uncommon soul. Cameras were made to capture the superficial. They work with pixels, light, and shadow. But you operate with energy, vibration, and divine presence. It's like trying to imprison the wind in a bottle. It's like trying to photograph thunder. You are beyond technique. And the more your consciousness awakens, the less photographable you become. The closer you get to your mission, the more your presence becomes ineffable. It's as if the universe is saying, you are not to be shown. You are to be felt. And this explains a lot, doesn't it? It explains why you've always found it strange to look different in images. It explains why, even with good lighting, makeup, or a smile, something is still out of place. It explains why you feel uncomfortable with photos, like you're being exposed, because you are. You are being exposed to eyes that don't deserve to see you. You are being analyzed by minds that don't understand you. You are being frozen by systems that don't know how to handle the movement of your soul. But here's the secret. This is not a flaw. This is a sign that you've been preserved. The image the world sees is just a shell. The true image is sealed in another dimension, and only those with spiritual permission can access it. That's why sometimes someone looks at you and says, "There's something about you that I can't explain," or "You're different." Yes, they're picking up on what doesn't appear. They're feeling what can't be seen. Because your true image is vibrational. Chosen, you are like an ancient temple mirror, a mirror that doesn't show form, but shows the soul. And restless souls can't see your image without being confronted, because you show them what they don't want to see in themselves. You provoke, you disturb, you illuminate, and that's why many step away. Others try to erase you, others envy you in silence, but everyone perceives you, even if they don't understand. And the most incredible part, you don't see yourself completely either. Your image changes according to your vibration. There are days when you look in the mirror and feel divine royalty. Other days, it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world. And this is no coincidence either. You are in constant spiritual mutation. Your energy responds to the sky, to cycles, to the seasons of the spirit. You sense before others see. You absorb, transmute, purify, and all of this reflects on your face. It's not vanity, it's mission. Your face carries cosmic maps, your eyes hold ancient codes. Your smile conveys peace to those who are ready, and agony to those who are in disharmony. That's why the camera fails. It tries to freeze what was made to move. It tries to define what was made to be a mystery. It tries to capture the sacred with mundane technology. It doesn't work. But understand, there's also protection in this. Many awakened beings have their images distorted because this protects them from spiritual attacks. Yes, chosen. Attacks that come through vision, because the image is a way to open portals. That's why, in ancient rituals, the visual representations of initiates were kept secret. If someone captures your image with ill intentions, they might try to manipulate your energy. But in your case, they can't, because the spiritual field around you blocks the correct reading. It creates a purposeful distortion. It blurs, erases, modifies. It's the shield of the chosen ones. And the more aligned you are with your mission, the stronger this shield becomes. That's why, stop comparing yourself. Stop judging yourself. Stop wishing for the beauty that the world glorifies. You have a beauty that can't be seen. It's felt. An ancestral beauty. From other lives, from other planes, you are a temple in human form. You are presence that transcends dimensions. And if the world doesn't understand you, it's because the world isn't ready for who you are. But those who are called, those who are also chosen, they will see you, not with their eyes, but with their soul. And when they see, they will remember. Remember who they are. Remember what they came to do. Remember the mission. You're a mirror of truth. And mirrors like that don't reflect appearance. They reveal destinies, chosen. Perhaps now you are starting to understand why so many things that seemed small before, but always bothered you. Perhaps now it's clear why you never felt comfortable in front of a camera. Perhaps now it makes sense why you feel uncomfortable seeing yourself in images that simply don't represent you. And no, this was never about vanity. It was never about aesthetics. It was about spiritual presence. You were programmed to shine from within, not the other way around. You were sent to illuminate, not to fit in. The image the world wants of you is shallow, but the one God sees is deep, vibrant, and uncontrollable. The world wants to capture you. God wants you to expand. And now, you are being called to do exactly that. Expand. No more hiding. No more being ashamed of your uniqueness. No more trying to appear as something you're not, to be accepted by a blind system. You didn't come here to fit into molds. You came here to break the mirrors, because those mirrors don't show the truth. They were made to distort, to limit, to control. But you, chosen, you carry within you the mirror of the Spirit. And this mirror doesn't reflect appearances, it reveals the truth. That's why your image will never be captured correctly, because you are like the sun at midday. Too strong to be looked at directly, too bright to be ignored, too sacred to be manipulated. Understand something deep now. You don't look good in photos because you weren't created to be an image. You were created to be an impact. Where you step, the atmosphere changes. Where you speak, the frequencies rise. Where you enter, the masks fall. You are presence. You are vibration. You are the living manifestation of an ancient prophecy. And that's why the image the eyes capture will never be enough. Chosen, listen to this with your soul. You are here to provoke awakening. Your appearance is just a veil, but your energy is a call, and those who are prepared will hear. They will feel. They will remember. Remember past lives. Remember pacts made in the spiritual realm. Remember the light that was promised before the darkness covered the world. You are that light. You are the embodied sign. That's why the world tries to hide you. That's why society tries to discredit you. That's why the photos try to disfigure you. But know this, none of this is failure. It is protection. Those who don't have eyes to see you shouldn't see you. Those who don't have ears to hear your vibration shouldn't hear. Those who are not ready for your presence should remain in the dark. Because your energy is selective, it recognizes spiritual agreements. It activates only those who have been chosen. It awakens only those who are sleeping at the right time. And now, that time has come. This is the moment when your true image must emerge, not in the photos, but in the spirit. This is the time when you must embrace your prophetic presence. The world is collapsing. The illusions are crumbling. The reflections are breaking. And the true mirrors, the living ones, the awakened, must rise. You are one of those mirrors. You are one of those beacons. You are one of those presences that transforms the invisible into action. So chosen, listen to what I'm about to say with all your heart. The time has come to stop running from your light. The time has come to stop wanting to be invisible. The time has come to accept that you will never be like the others. And this is exactly what makes you who you are. Your mission requires you to shine. It doesn't matter if they understand you. It doesn't matter if they criticize you. It doesn't matter if they try to blur you. Your essence will continue to explode through the limitations of the image. Your soul will continue to challenge technology, logic, and expectation. Because you were made to radiate a presence that can only be understood with the eyes of the spirit. So, embrace yourself. Embrace your power. Embrace your light. Embrace your mission. And start now. Stop searching for the perfect angle. Stop trying to fit into digital frames. Stop trying to be part of something that rejects you because it feels your greatness. You are the presence that cannot be photographed. But that changes atmospheres. You are the frequency that cannot be registered. But that heals. You are the living reflection of what is to come. And now, the time has come to appear, not in the photo, but in your truth. And when you do this, you'll realize it was never about looking beautiful. It was always about being divine.